And hopefully we can come out of this planet without really taking much damage, so we don't have to waste too much time repairing. And we can do more refitting of mechs to make them more effective. That's kind of where we're at right now, is we don't have a lot of mechs to work with, and we just need to make them more effective. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at... I think I already looked at the barracks with mech warriors and stuff, and how much experience we had to spend. I'm fairly certain I already did this before we ended last time, so really we just want to go right into the next contract. And there's 3 more to do. We've got 2 recovery missions and a battle mission. I'm going to try and save the battle mission for last. Let's go ahead and do this recovery mission. Doesn't pay a whole lot, but maybe we can get some good salvage out of it. Okay. We don't want to go too hardcore on the salvage, so I think we just go 50-50 here. Alright. Hey, Brunswick. You demand a big boom? We'll try. Alright, I think we're more or less ready to go. Let's deploy. So, doing a lot more missions for pirates this time around. I really hope we can get the black market, because I was not able to do that in my last career mode. And I wasn't really, really like to see what happens with that. I think it just opens up more stuff on the market for you, but... Okay, I'm getting updated intel from our employer. They believe the base is going to be even more heavily defended than we thought. Now, last time they said that, it still wasn't really that big of a deal, so... We need to move up and get a look at the base so we can... see what kind of firepower we're facing. Once we've grabbed the payroll, the Leopard will extract us at the LZ. Now, this is not much of a base because it looks like just a bit of jungle here. Good on you, Commander. Olivia, out.
Perhaps we'll find a lost civilization here.
Alright, we'll get to jumping because that's going to get us further along. Just head straight for the objective. Actually head off a little bit more this way.
Look, Mom, I'm flying.
The lawyer and the commander is going to have a hard time because of the very heavy terrain. And how mountainous it is. We actually have to look at what path I would take with this commando. As this might be impossible to actually get to. Maybe not impossible, but pretty difficult. I think I'm just going to go out in the open terrain. We're going to head more out this way.
I'm there.
Now, Spider doesn't have so much that problem. I can come with the rest of the group. Even move that out a little ahead of everything.
Yes, I'm there.
Okay, we do have contacts. What are we looking at? It's a mech. A couple light mechs, perhaps.
Roger that. Standing by.
Oh, there's the base itself. Okay, Locust 1V. Maybe seeing me. Indeed. Alright, if there's more light mechs, we don't really want to stick around with the Spider. So... got a lot of evasion.
Waiting for order.
Might be just worth getting a sensor lock here. Oh, we still have vision? Or someone has vision. Maybe one of these guys down here. It doesn't matter. We're going to sensor lock it. Easier to hit.
Got a lock.
Alright. So, no other mechs that I don't think so anyway. I just wanted to go through and make sure. Alright. Start with Freak.
Orders?
Get that ideal range for the... Honestly, maybe that's not the right call. Let's start with Lawyer. If Lawyer can get a shot... No, not in range. Alright, we'll go ahead and sprint. Try and get... Oh, this train is something else. Okay. Guess we just run around this way. That's a situation where having another sensor lock would really help. All right,
Ready
Freak,
for
you're gonna
orders.
have to take what shot you get. Not gonna be very good, but
Confirmed.
these locusts are just hard to hit.
Confirmed.
But we hit them with what mattered. It's a 1V variant.
Reporting critical hit.
So its main firepower is going to be in the center torso. We still took out some of its firepower. See if we can hit it with that AC-10. If we hit with the AC-10, it's probably bye-bye. Especially as we're attacking the same side.
Engaging
Yeah.
target.
Goodbye.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Bad luck for that locust. If this is the only other enemy, this mission's already over. Mando 1B. Just missed. Alright. Question is, how much evasion did it build up? I mean, it has to deal with the same kind of terrain I do, so yeah, it has very little evasion.
Yes, boss.
We can jump in behind it, that'd be ideal. If we can. Actually, would behind even make sense? Go to the side.
Firing jump
Get in
jet.
the objective at the same time, kind of kill two birds with one stone. Don't need a precision strike just yet. The medium lasers, which had the higher hit chance to hit, I'm sorry, the medium laser which had the lower chance to hit is the one that hit. Small lasers did not. Alright, that's right.
Waiting for orders.
Yeah, lawyer's not going to get a whole lot done here. Just have her kind of run up the mountain. We really need to replace the commandos if we want to have this high mobility, because on some maps, having a non-jump jet mech is going to be somewhat of a liability. Alright. I think we use a precision strike here.
Engaging jump jets.
I'll be able to take the leg out.
All weapons committed.
Or just straight up kill him.
Enemy mech.
And then at the end of this turn...
The asset has been secured and is ready for retrieval.
Nice, easy money. So yeah, these half-skull missions have so far been really easy on this planet. I think it's the nature of the mission, too. Okay. So a little bit of money. Salvage is probably going to be beyond what we, you know, what we're going to actually get out of here, because we only have 4 things to salvage. And we were supposed to get, what, 9? So taking more money would have made more sense, but we didn't know what the opposition was ahead of time. We're getting closer to another commando. Granted, we don't want another commando, but... I mean, we're getting everything that was here anyway, so it's not really going to matter too much. Alright, so on to the 1 skull mission. We could check the experience, but 500 experience isn't going to really make too much difference, especially as we get more and more experience into our crew. This is going to be the last recovery mission on this planet, which there were plenty of. Okay. So 1 skull, going to be Highland, so kind of neutral as far as the heat's going to go. It's going to against the Capellans. Again, fighting for the pirates. I'm okay with the 50-50 point here. We're not getting a lot of money, so if we take some damage, it would be a problem, but... Again, our loadout is just fine. But we might expect more a full lance rather than like a half lance like what we had there. Whether or not they're going to be light or medium, we'll see. I expect light. I expect a full lance of light. But you never know, it could be vehicles.
Command interface initiated.
Yeah, updated intel. They believe the base is going to be even more heavily defended. So it's the same thing we got last time. Alright. Question is with the train. I probably could jump further. Okay. On jumping. Like you to sprint on over this way.
Coordinates received.
Okay, the spider. Let's be a little bit more aggressive with this. Maybe we get some
confirmed.
sensor contacts early. There we go.
Picked up a blip.
What do we got? It is a mech. It's light. Okay. Observed through. Alright, that's suspicious.
I'll just wait
So maybe
here.
one or two more medium mechs, perhaps? Ah, it's a vehicle. Alright, so
All right, I'm standing here.
wouldn't just be two opponents again, would it? It seems slightly low. We'll find out. Alright, well,
Waiting for orders.
I feel like you moved a lot. Go ahead and do a jump. We could jump in and get nice and close, try and burn through a lot of that evasion. Maybe also see what the other where the other enemy is.
Engaging jump jets.
It might just be these two. Okay, so what do we got? A Jenner? That's good. We actually want to kill this and try and get salvage out of it.
On it.
Because Jenner is one of the ones that's a high priority for me to pick up. Alright, Lawyer's probably not going to be able to get in range. Oh, no, right there. Alright, we'll take what shot we get, even though it's going to be a bad one. Then we burn through the evasion. Hopefully our higher damage output mechs can follow
Firing
up.
all weapons.
Yeah, she didn't even touch the thing. Well, burn through the evasion, that's the important bit. Okay, jump on over. Okay, we're not going to be able to get cover, but that's not a big deal.
Engaging jump jets.
Got pretty good shots here. They have to land.
Engaging target.
Okay, we hit with both. Fortunately, my enemy has some pretty decent damage reduction at the moment, so do as much damage as we like.
Roger that.
Gonna be able to get a shot with all three of the weapons. Well, not all of the weapons, but the three that count. Might be able to take a leg out here if we're lucky.
May I interest you in some melting armor?
Okay. So I got an arm, which is going to reduce its firepower.
Ooh, that hit something good.
Because we expect it to counterattack us. Genders have pretty good firepower. Okay, wasn't able to do a whole lot with that. Alright.
Waiting
Amanda's
for
probably a pretty safe move here. Move on up. Try and knock out the Jenner, who is actually easier to kill now because it does a less damage reduction and has no evasion. I'm gonna go ahead and use a precision strike here because I would like to kill this thing if I can. Do I get greedy and try and go for leg meta? Or do I just try and get a kill? Because it's kind of firepower I'm slinging could get the kill for us. I'm just gonna go for the kill.
targeting for an
Because if we can get the
outward
kill, which we didn't get, but if we could have,
critical hit, Commander.
that would have taken away the vision from my opponent. Alright.
Good to go.
Ideally what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get myself in a position where whatever that vehicle is can't get in a position to attack the spider. We're attacking rear armor though, which is not ideal.
Confirmed.
We did take out a leg and the center torso, so that makes it dead, so it's not giving vision anymore. So if this medium, actually it's a heavy, this heavy vehicle cannot get vision on me, then perfect. Okay, and it was not able to do so. Unfortunately, I'm not going to really be able to get vision on it either, but that does set me up for another turn. Gives me a chance to cool off a little bit. Also gives me a chance to reset the AC-10, which, having just fired, is going to have recoil, which causes your follow-up shots to be inaccurate. So, there we go. it may be able to get vision to me this turn. So the safer move is probably to move the spider and get a sensor lock on the thing. Because if it rounds this corner and fires on my spider is not having a lot of evasion. It has a little bit of damage reduction, but that's not going to really help us too much. Alternatively, yeah, we could go for the objective and get the sensor lock. I'd feel pretty good about that. And if it can see me, it can see me. But I have pretty good evasion at that point. Yeah. Okay, and then I've lost orientation. Yeah, there it is. Lock. So what do we got? Striker, no surprise there. So yet again, only 2 opponents, which is really surprising. Hey, Leo. From what I've seen of the Heavy Metal DLC, it is looking really good. As a matter of fact, I think after this DLC, the game's going to be where it needs to be, more or less. Some of the mechs that they were supposed to have come out with when the game launched are coming out for free. So we've got 2 mechs that were supposed to be with the game when it launched that are coming out for free, so you don't have to pay for a DLC for that. So that's nice to see. And then there's another 8 on top of that. And then some other content as well. But obviously the vast number of mechs is what you're really looking for. At least that's what I'm really looking for. Actually, let's start with Lawyer. Let's see if Lawyer can actually get into a position to do anything. I expect the Striker's going to be dead after this, so I'm going to be more aggressive. But I sure hope it's going to work out. There we go. So that should be it?
The asset has been secured.
Yeah, another very easy mission. This planet has been very lucky for us as far as just not a lot of opposition. Downside of that is I took more salvage, again expecting more opposition, and I'm going to have almost no salvage to take. So, that's unfortunate. So, well, I say almost no. I guess it's not too bad. The grand scheme of things, probably the LRM-10. There's only one mech that isn't part of the lore. They have the Bull Shark, which is a new mech that's been designed specifically for this game, but otherwise, they're all going to be mechs that are part of the lore. And as a matter of fact, they're mechs I really did not expect to see. They're part of what's known as the unseen mechs, and what that means is these are the mechs that are tied up in the legal shenanigans. So I did not expect them to show up. As a matter of fact, let me think about how many of them are part of the legal shenanigans. So you have the Marauder, the Warhammer, the Phoenix Hawk, the Rifleman. Those are all unseen mechs. I'm trying to think of the other ones. What else is coming? The Flea isn't. Bull Shark's a new one. I'm trying to think of like all the mechs that were in what I saw at Paradox Con. And I know I'm forgetting a few. Assassin's not really. I think those are the main 4 that are jumping out to mind. Maybe there's one I'm missing, but that's, you know, way more than I expected. I really didn't expect to see the Rifleman. Warhammer and Marauder were supposed to be in the game when the game launched. So that's not too much of a surprise we're seeing that, although it's a surprise because I thought, from a legal standpoint, they weren't allowed to use it. At least that was the rumor. The Phoenix Hawk is the one that I'm really looking forward to. That is the mech that, by far and away, I'm happiest to see. Not only is it a cool-looking mech, it is the mech that fits the kind of playstyle I like the most. And the challenge I did at the Paradox Con thing, that was the mech that, in my opinion, of the lance they gave you, was the most effective. Like, that was the mech that won you that match, more or less, if you knew how to use it right. So, the Assassin did good work, too. But... and the Assassin really lucked out for me. So, I can't say too many bad things about the Assassin. Alrighty. And the Marauder was that damn mech that wouldn't die. So that came up, too. Okay, so... we probably should take a look at our mech warriors. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. We really don't know what the agreement was between Harebrained Schemes, Prana Games, and Harmony Gold. We don't really know what was said. We know it was settled, But we don't know how it was settled. It was settled under the table, or not under the table, behind the scenes. That's probably the better way to say it. So we don't know what their agreement was, and a lot of people assumed that the unseen mechs were part of the deal. MechWarrior 5 was going to do that crap no matter what. Like, we were going to see those unseen mechs no matter what, I think. But with Battletech, Battletech was coming out pretty much this time that these illegal proceedings were going on. So that's why a lot of people felt like Harebrained Schemes, or they thought Harebrained Schemes made a deal. But apparently that's not true. All right, what do we get? Recoil penalty. That actually is useful for now. But also the max evasion really comes in. I think I'd rather have that right now.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Yes, Commander.
So let's just say it's surprising because of what people thought was going to happen versus what really happened, you know? I'll go with that as well over here.
Training complete.
And lawyer. Lawyer's going to be our support pilot, so we're going to definitely go with that.
Mech warrior training complete.
Not really sure what I'm going to do with her for her secondary ability. Usually with support pilots, I go with this. Not sure if it's going to fit what we want, though, so we'll have to think about that. And then Stargazer, we want to have piloting skill, and we want to push him to ace pilot. So that's going to be what we do. I wouldn't mind another gunnery skill from him as well, although we're not going to really use it right at the moment. Maybe we save. So it's really hard to say with the legal stuff, but I do know that Harmony Gold's license does run out. It has a time limit. I don't remember if it's 2022 or 2023, but in the next couple of years, Harmony Gold is going to lose its license. And I think it's pretty certain it's going to lose its license because it was granted its license from parties that are not too happy with it anymore. So I don't think it's going to get an extension. So I think the days of Harmony Gold using its, well, arguable control of the IP, that those days are numbered. So unfortunately, that's still a couple, 2 or 3 years out. So Battletech is, you know, seemingly okay, though, because they got out what we want from them. So I don't think there's going to be many other issues. But again, we don't know what the settlement was, so... Okay. I think that's all we wanted to do for now. There's really just that one contract left, right? So it's a 1.5 scholar. It's in the desert, so that could be a problem for us from the heat standpoint. It's a battle. Hopefully we don't see reinforcements. If we do, we'll just withdraw. We'll try and get what damage we can in, so it's a good withdrawal, but this is Iron Man mode, so we can't really make too many mistakes. Alright, negotiate. From the standpoint of salvage, this is probably going to be the match where we get the better salvage, but I'm actually going to go for more money because the way that the agreement is, it pays better than it gives us salvage. So I'm just going to emphasize that aspect. And this is the squad we've been doing. We're going to stick with it. We're still a ways away from getting a mech, though. I think we are one part away from getting another commando. I think it's the 2 one, 2D or whatever the code is. I think it's 2D. But I don't really want a commando. We already have 2. I don't need a 3rd one. The only reason I'd want a 3rd one is just as a backup. So, ideally, we want to be improving rather than more or less staying where we are.
Command interface initiated.
Okay. Move up and make contact. Let's see what sort of trap this is. Uh-oh. Stay alert, Commander. Olivia, you're out. So when they say trap, that almost makes me think that it's going to be reinforcements. So if that's the case, we are definitely probably going to have to go along the lines of get what damage we can so it's a good withdrawal, and maybe withdrawal. Depends on what it looks like. Oftentimes you get a good indicator of whether or not it's going to be an enemy with reinforcements just based off of
Onward.
How long it takes their turn to process, more or less. I don't want to move too far forward with Commando. Commando is going to be kind of in trouble, though, just from the terrain aspect of things. Kind of limited ways of moving. And considering it's such a light mech, could be trouble.
Coordinates received.
I'll try and move most of my mechs down at the bottom of this ridge, though. Get there further with a sprint. Yeah, let's do that. Hopefully we get within sensor contact range, but if we don't, we don't. Honestly, I don't know what their plans are. We were only told that they were going to do 3 DLCs for this year. I don't know what their plans are after this year. That might be the end of development. It may not be it. I really don't know how well the game sold to be able to make
Let's do this.
too much of a call on that regard. But I would imagine it depends. But the way this next DLC is coming out, it's really hard to say because they put so much content into it. It almost makes me think that they are maybe wrapping up development. I guess we'll find out soon enough, but this should give us a sensor contact. Or are we just shy? We might be just shy. Oh, that's a little annoying. A jump because I think that just gets me along for. I think what my opponent is doing is they're just sitting still, waiting for me to come to them. Sprint is what we're going to do here.
Acknowledged.
I'm trying to be conservative with Commander because I don't want to get caught out in the open.
I'm there.
Because if I just sprint over there, I'm going to be out in the open and get just destroyed. They're just staying put. It's a long turn process, though, so I'm a little worried. I don't know if it'd be updated beyond. I mean, it's just one of those things. This is a Paradox published game. It really depends on what Paradox wants. And again, how happy the development has made Paradox. Because if Paradox feels like this game has not sold very well, and I'm not sure how good the support's going to be. Now, they supported this game way more than they did Steel Division 2. So that might be a good sign, because I think Steel Division 2. I'm sorry, Steel Division 1. Because Steel Division 1 just really didn't sell very well, and I don't think Paradox is very happy about that. It seems like Paradox is a lot happier with Battletech, so we'll see.
Location confirmed.
Hard to say how happy they are, though.
I've got eyes on hostile reinforcements. They're heading your way.
Yeah, so we got to do what damage we can in the allotted time. Oh, shit. We walked right into their reinforcements. I only see one mech here, but I see a hell of a lot here. Not sure what the best approach is. Usually divide and conquer.
Engaging jump jets.
I think we probably back the spider off. I think it's hard to say, Leo, but I don't think it did as well as they would have hoped. Eugene Systems, or however you pronounce their company name. Okay. Honestly, I want the commander to move so it has some semblance of evasion, but I don't want it to move too far because I don't want it to get smacked. This is somewhat bad. Because I have a feeling that it's going to get seen fairly easily here. But I also want it to be able to move up and attack, so... And it has fairly short-range weapons. Maybe just move it in behind this ridge. Try and make sure it's not going to get seen.
Rolling.
Hopefully it can come back out and see something and actually attack it. There's a lot of enemy presence, though. Worries me. They also seemingly are fairly heavy, although some of that might just be vehicles. That's the heavy stuff. Alright, I am going to reserve one time, just in case they don't see me.
Waiting for the shot.
Because if we can get past this and they don't see me at all, we're going to be in a very good position. If they see me, then we have to back off. A lot of it depends on whether this vehicle can see me. Also, when this vehicle even goes. If it's heavy, if it's this thing. I bet you this is a medium mech. This is a heavy vehicle. So, I think we're going to be alright. I don't think this guy's going to see anything. I don't think this is going to see anything. This is a galleon. It's moving really fast. Hey. Yeah, it was a medium mech. So all we have left is this heavy vehicle, which actually might not even be able to move because all the things in front of it. So we'll give it one more reserve here. This is actually not too bad. If it's just one medium mech up here, and 2 lights, I believe, down here, and then a medium vehicle, heavy vehicle, I think we can handle this.
How's it going?
But we're going to divide and conquer, as I mentioned earlier. We're going to go after this thing. See what it is. I hope it's not a hunchback. It is a Griffin 1S. Okay. With very reduced armor. That's like, what, 25%? Here's only 25. Okay, so this isn't going to be too bad. We'll just beat up on the Griffin. Now, it has good damage reduction. But if we can knock that out fairly fast. Now, the Commando here, I don't think is getting within range. And this is exactly what I was worried about. But I didn't want it to get smacked really hard, so... jump to here, I guess. Still a pretty good shot.
Engaging jump jets.
I'm not sure we're going to take the Griffin out this turn. We'll try.
Engaging target.
Be able to burn through a good chunk of its armor. It's a nice heavy mech, so it's going to be able to take punishment.
Critical damage.
Especially with 40% damage reduction.
I'm your spaniel.
Looks like we've got a direct line of sight here. Pretty good chance to hit, so...
Firing jump jets.
And we'll be able to follow up with our light mechs. Maybe they can do enough damage output to put the Griffin down.
Engaging target.
Before it really gets a chance.
Reporting critical hit.
Don't know how much faith I have in that,
Waiting
though.
for orders.
I'll go ahead and just sprint up.
Quick stepping it.
Alright, we don't know what these are, so they may be able to retaliate. Okay, that speaks of a Locust 1M, which is not really all that
You
threatening.
trying to attract my attention or something?
Standing by.
I'm gonna move up. We're gonna try and spank the Griffin as much as we can. Might not be able to do enough damage. But we've already, if we precision strike it here, we'll knock it down in initiative, and then it has no way of really getting through this. Wow. We aimed for its center torso, and I don't think we hit the center torso even once. Yeah, Locust 1V. Problem is the spider's not going to really be able to do a whole lot here.
Yes, Commander.
It's running too hot. And to be able to attack that Griffin, I have to... yeah, I'm just going to fire the one medium laser. I think that's as good as I'm going to be able to do with how much heat I have and having to stay mobile and not get punched by the Griffin. I hope that the follow-up from our medium mechs will be enough. Okay, so the goal here is not to be seen by that Locust, because if we don't get seen by that Locust, then whatever that heavy vehicle is, which I assume is a Striker, will not be able to do a whole lot. So our goal here is to kill the Griffin before it even gets a chance to go.
Engaging target.
Fortunately, we're hitting it all over the place and not hitting where we need to.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
Even if we could just reduce his firepower, that'd be good. Yeah, we hit it all over the place. We didn't do anything to reduce his firepower or... I mean, we hit its large laser with a crit. And unfortunately, it can still see me. So now the striker will be able to fire upon probably my commando. Thankfully, the commando was able to avoid that. Alright.
Waiting for orders.
Oh. We could just move in and be aggressive. At this point, if the Griffin has 25% armor, it's quite possible everyone else has 25% armor. And maybe we just go for broke here. I don't know what that medium vehicle is, but we may be able to kill it pretty fast. I think we just go after the Griffin and try and get a kill on it. Try and get some semblance of evasion up. Actually, I'd rather have 3 evasion than 2.
Rolling.
Get a little bit harder shot, but... we also get to focus our damage, something we've been lacking.
Bet that
Yeah,
hurt.
good. We got rid of its most damaging weapon. So we already knew what that was. It's a Locust 1M. It should be fairly easy to knock out.
Standing by.
I have to try and kill this Griffin, though. If I can. Now, the way the initiative is going to work, or the turn order is going to work, is... my medium mechs will get to go before their medium things will get to go. So if we don't get the kill here, which I'm starting to think we won't. Oh. We're doing what we can
That hit something good.
to hit everything other than the center torso. We might be able to knock him out through leg destruction or pilot destruction, although at this point he doesn't have very many health points left. Oh, he just ran away. Okay.
I'm ready.
He's already knocked down, so not likely going
On
to
the way.
be able to get to go before we kill him. I'm going to go for the leg just in case we can get the kill, but we might actually have too much damage and accidentally kill the center torso, which has almost no health. So, I think we were killing this guy no matter what. Yeah. Unfortunately, we killed all parts, so...
Are there none who can
we're not
stand
going to get
for
more
me?
salvage out of this. Okay, so they can't see me at this point, so we're in a good position.
Standing by.
Don't know if there's a whole lot we can do with the position we're in. Yeah, okay, I guess I'll remain aggressive here, although heat's going to start being a problem. The 1M should have very little evasion and be easy to hit. And dead. I mean, when you have 25% armor on a mech that already has almost no armor, and you get hit with an AC-10 and a large laser, even with damage reduction, you're not going to be alive very long. Alright, I think this one's sewn up.
Commander.
I'm gonna jump in front just to try and prevent the enemy from seeing me.
Here
So
we go.
we can kill this locust, or the other enemy gets to go. Ah, shit. Okay, we're not gonna get that kill. I don't think we were gonna get it anyway, maybe with the small laser and a few small lasers and a medium laser, but Now for
Commander?
sure we're not getting the kill. Alright, no point in you going, so reserve. Oh. Vehicles are just staying put, huh?
I live to serve.
I'm not sure I can get direct line of sight. So this is going to point to just kind of cool off. So we'll
Rolling.
move, get an LRM-5 shot here.
Locked and loaded. Here it comes.
Alright. Fortunately, heat's going to start being a problem, so I have to make a call on what weapons to fire here. We might give the AC-10... okay, never mind. We'll give the large laser a break. No precision strike, just so we can try and get the kill. If we can hit him in the center torso, he'll die.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Like that! Okay.
Standing by.
Lawyer... I think we just move up. And then brace.
Coordinates received.
Give her a chance to cool off, because right now her mechs run pretty hot. Yeah, the vehicles are just kind of sitting there, and if they continue to do that, they're not even going to fight
Looking for
back.
tactical
So,
advantage.
okay, it is moving up. No, it's moving back. Okay. Well, we'll let them waste their turns.
Waiting for the shot.
Waiting for orders.
Alright, this will give me vision on both.
I'm there.
We'll make a call on which one to shoot later. Looks like these guys only have, these guys have half armor. So, a galleon and a striker. We do have multi-target. So, I'm going to go with USA, USB, and I think the medium lasers would be able to kill the galleon. So, we'll go with an SRM-6 against the striker.
Split fire. Confirmed.
That should kill the galleon, even with the miss. They don't have, those don't have a lot of armor. That I didn't suspect was going to get the kill, but
Yes, boss.
just run up. Fire what we got.
Consider me there.
I think we'll be able to get away with all shots here, but small lasers don't build up a lot of heat.
Locking in all weapon systems.
That may do it. Yeah. Alright, nice and easy.
Enemy vehicle
Okay. We should have decent salvage. Unfortunately, again, I didn't take a lot of salvage. We'll see what we get. Might just take the 1S as our salvage. Because out of all the things, it's going to be the thing that we most want. Unless there's some kind of special system. So I'm going to look through. Yeah, looks like we're all good. So Griffin 1S is probably more valuable. Not probably, for sure more valuable. Get some other weapon systems. All right. You know, Leo, you make me wish I had asked the developers when I was at ParadoxCon what the roadmap was after that. They might not have said anyway, though. You know, even if there is a roadmap, they probably would have kept the cards close to their chest because the DLC isn't out yet. All right, so where are we at? That was the last of the contracts. There should be no more. Just double check on that. We do have a travel contract for Herodotus. I definitely need to take a look at that on the star map, but let's focus. No, actually, no. We should know where our destination is first. So, Herodotus is somewhere we'd want to go. We're going there for free. All right, that works. We could also use filters here, though, and say, like, we want 1 skulls, right? And ultimately, we're trying to get here. We could also say half skulls. Yeah, okay. So, like, 1 skull is probably a good one for us to go with. So, like, we could go here, then we could go here, then we could go here, and then we could go there. And that'd be kind of like our end trip. Because we still have a lot of time to get here. We've got 171 days. And the trip would normally take 39 days. So, if we were to go more of a long route, like here first, that's 20 days. I don't know how long it'd be from there. Because as much as it says 29 days, and you'd be like, oh, we'll just add 9 more days on because this was 20. It doesn't really work that way. So, but let's just say that's 20 days, that's 20 days, this is 20 days. We'd still have plenty of time. So, more than likely, we're going to end up going here. Now, usually what you want to do is you want to accept the contract because that will start your travels. We're not going to do that yet, though, because I think that immediately starts us traveling. So, we're going to go into our mech bay. So now we have a time limit, 20 days. So whatever modifications we do have to happen within that 20-day period. We were looking at an upgrade of our Vindicator, which is very doable for us. The other one we'd really want is the Enforcer. Now, out of the two, the Enforcer right now I think has the higher damage output. So upgrading the Vindicator makes more sense. From an armor standpoint, I would imagine the Enforcer's more heavily armored, but we could check that for sure. So armor 720 versus 720. So they're identical as in armor. So, all right. Let's go ahead and refit the Vindicator because we already had one kind of hashed out. So PPC gone. We may be getting rid of the LRMs. I'm not 100% on that one, but we're definitely getting rid of the small laser. We're going to replace this with a large laser, and we're going to add in 2 medium lasers, I think. And then I probably got rid of the LRM. Either that or it's like a half a ton of armor. It could just be a half a ton of armor. Because, I mean, this heat efficiency isn't terrible. It's worse than it was, but it's easier to manage by turning weapon systems off. Firepower should be improved. Yeah, it's improved by 20. But it's also more usable firepower. Because that small laser, we were almost never using that. No, not almost. Never. We were never using that because you can't use a PPC and a small laser at the same time. PPC does more damage. Well, you can, but the PPC is not going to land because it's got that minimum range penalty. So, with this weapons loadout, we can fire all of the weapons at the same time and do the full extent of the damage here. So this makes us a much more effective mech. So really, I think we just look at upgrading the armor at this point. So just a little bit more in the torso. Maybe a little bit more in the legs. And maybe we have enough to get that torso up just a little bit more. There you go. So just half a ton more armor, a little bit more firepower, a little bit less heat efficiency, but I think it's manageable. That only takes 8 days to do, really? Okay. Well, that means we might be able to upgrade the Enforcer too. So this we're going to do for sure. No doubt about it. So let's confirm that. The one thing you could debate is removing the LRM-5 and maybe replacing with an SRM-4 to get that more short-range firepower potential, but I like a little bit of long-range punch. All right, let's see. This is not too bad. So confirm that.
I'll get it in the schedule.
All right, so that's 8 days. So now we have 12 days to work with, and the one we're most likely going to want to refit is the Enforcer. Now, it's quite possible we're going to need to do a lot more things to the Enforcer. But one of the problems is the thing that would make it easiest to upgrade this guy would be to remove the AC-10 and maybe downgrade it. Now, it is possible for the Enforcer to use all of its firepower because you can use an AC-10 point blank. You can use a large laser point blank, and the small laser is very short range, so you're going to need to be point blank to use that. So it's possible. The problem with the Enforcer is it's just kind of slow, and it's hard to get into that position oftentimes. So might be a good idea to remove the small laser and think of some other ways we can equip this. So how many slots do we have? We have 5 energy weapon slots, so that means we could go much more towards like medium lasers and things. So yeah, we've got a lot of choices here, but we are going to have to buy stuff. Oh, wait. Store, yeah. Forgot they had a button. They added a button. So what we want an AC-5. We really do. So unfortunately, I don't think we can do this change at the moment because we do not have any AC-5s. There's not a whole lot else that we could do. I mean, we could just replace the AC-10 entirely with energy weapons. I think we'd run into a lot of heat problems if we did that. Right now, the Enforcer's working okay for us, but I really would have liked to upgrade it. Because at the moment, if we think about it, AC-10 weighs about 12 tons. Then you have the ammo. The ammo's neither here and there because if we had an AC-5, we need the ammo anyway. But an AC-5 is only 8 tons, so we'd save ourselves 4 tons. We could slap on all 4 medium lasers, but that would be too heat inefficient. So maybe like 2 medium lasers and some heat sinks? That wouldn't be a bad upgrade. But unfortunately, we don't have the weapon systems, and it's not at the store, so we're going to have to hold off on that. Alright, so what else would we want to change? We've already upgraded the Spider. We've got the Commando. The 1B variant that's still its default. That's kind of a backup mech for us, though, and I'm alright with this loadout. I prefer this one, but this has some utility as well, so... The main thing I'd probably change with it is I'd remove the SRM2. Because that only does 16 damage. But it is 2 tons. Because you've got the SRM2 and the ammo. Alright, you know what? I'm going to do that. Because that just makes more sense. You do more damage. Same ranges. Then you get 1 ton to play with. This is still a pretty heat-efficient mech. I don't really have any problem with where it's at. Honestly, I should probably up-armor it. So let's up-armor the arms, because those are very valuable. Definitely up-armor the left and right torso, because if you lose that, you lose the arms. Get up to 50 here. A little bit extra, and so hey, there you go. There's our... armor. I'd like to have something in my head, but get a little bit better armor going on here. That's not a bad setup, I think. Alright. Confirm that. That's going to take 2 days.
On it. I'll let you know
Alright.
when that's done.
That is what it is. Let's go ahead and go into the contracts. We'll look at which contract we'd want. So this one is an assassinate mission, which tend to be pretty good. When you assassinate, you typically are going to have maybe like a heavier mech or something that's worth salvaging. But this pays really well. What is this? Escort. Oh, I don't want an escort mission. Screw that. I'd much rather have an assassinate mission over an escort mission. So, yeah. We're going to go with Frontier Justice here. So, we're going to negotiate... More money probably is what we're going to go with. Accept. So this will pay for my travel, which is somewhat nice. We'll get our other pilot back, which is nice.
Got a new financial report for you, Commander.
Okay, we do have to pay for our finances. How are we doing money-wise? I don't know if it shows me. But I'm alright with a little bit of a morale uptick here, so we'll go ahead and do that. So we're at over 2 million. We're still doing pretty well here. I would like to have the opportunity of maybe buying a mech if we can get it. And once we're done with the ship upgrade, I think I want to buy another mech bay, because we're getting to the point where we might start getting mechs. The one flashpoint we're going to want to do is definitely going to get us a mech if we do it successfully, so... yeah, let's continue. Yeah, at the moment we're doing pretty well, but it's still early on. Yeah, that's true, Leo.
That work order you submitted is complete.
Alright, so that's all of our work, but I don't have anything else for them to do. If we had been able to salvage together a mech, we'd be spending the time getting it set up as well, eventually. My ideal lance? Well, I need a lot of things at this point, because this is still the lance that all the mechs that we have are the mechs that we started the campaign with. Ideally, I'd like to have something like a Jenner, which we'd already have if I hadn't increased the part requirement, but that's okay. So the Jenner would be really nice. We're not that far away from getting it. But yeah, I need more mobility. I need more firepower. Just need more of a lot of things. The Vindicator and the Enforcer are getting the job done, but they're not really ideal. They don't have enough mobility for what we want. They're giving us the firepower and the durability that we need for this early game, but they're not really suiting our play style that we're going to want to go forward with. Thankfully, they have jump jets, which gives us an okay amount of mobility, but it's just not enough distance. Continue. 10 days and we'll be there. We'll also finish our upgrade. Now we'll be locked into the contract, I think, that we already signed into. We don't necessarily have to start it right away. Which is good because we're going to have some training that we've done in our simulator. Oh, drawing straws. Dr. Murad gestures grandly at a bright yellow growth on the corridor wall in front of you. Meet the Argo's very own mold problem. It started in the unfinished gamma pod, and despite my best efforts, is spreading unchecked. He pokes at it with a screwdriver, frowning. I've seen this before, boss. Ann takes the screwdriver out of Dr. Murad's hand and wipes it off. I know how to kill it, but whoever you pick for the job needs to be in a hazmat suit. Considering how widespread this infestation is, there's going to be stewing in that suit for a long time. They're going to be stewing in that suit for a long time. Dr. Murad nods grimly. I was afraid of that. Any thoughts on who we should saddle with such an unpleasant task? I suppose we could ask for volunteers. No one's going to volunteer for hazmat duty, Yang chuckles. May as well draw straws. We can send in the medical team, we can send in mech techs, or we can ask for volunteers. I'm going to send in the medical team because we don't need them right now. So we lose some medical points. Not a big deal. We already recovered. I mean, it will be a big deal a little later, but it's only going to affect us. I mean, we're going to have 6 days travel here, so in the grand scheme of things, isn't that bad. Darius' voice crackles through the Argo speakers. Argo has developed a mold problem. To combat this, Chief Bertanen has developed a highly toxic cleaning solution. Team from the med bay is doing the majority of the cleanup work, so don't get sick or injured because no one will be there to patch you up. Olivia, out. Now the technicians, I don't think could afford, because if we get damage on our mechs, we need those turned around fast. So, whereas right now we don't have any damage on our pilots. But fate will probably not work in my favor in that regard.
That work order's complete, boss. Top-notch work.
Okay, we don't want to do the contract just yet, but we can do it with this big shiny yellow button here. I want to go to engineering though, and I do want to upgrade our mech phase. We need a second one. This is very expensive though, and it takes a while to do. It will give us a bunch of tech points, which is nice, but if we look at our mech bay, I only have 2 slots. I'm sorry, I only have 1 slot, so we get 1 more mech beyond this. We have to throw it into storage, which takes a long time to get something out of storage. But I don't want to be in a situation where I get a mech, especially as a reward for the flashpoint as a mech. I don't want to have to throw something into storage, so we're going to start working on this. But it does put us in a little bit of a situation. Let's go to the store real quick. Okay, we do have an AC-5, which I'm going to want to pick up. Go ahead and buy that now.
New weapon systems
we have parts of a blackjack we could pick up, but we have no parts for this, and even if I bought all 3, which we can't afford anyway, it wouldn't make any difference. Any other cool systems here worth picking up? I may need the ammo. I honestly don't know if I have any ammo. We'd have to go to our storage. Or, I mean, sorry, components. Do we have any AC-5 ammo? No, we might as well go ahead and buy that too. Thankfully, it's not that expensive. All right,
available.
we'll do it. Let's go to our mech warriors and make sure we level them up. They should have accrued experience over the trip. My pilot, unless I want to go with guts. Yeah, I'll go with the guts because the recoil penalty is affecting us now, so it's good to have it now.
Training
Go ahead and get
confirmed,
that.
Commander.
Ready for orders.
Freak. Don't really need you to level up with
Commander?
anything. Lawyer. I mean, eventually we're going to need tactics for you, but at the moment, hold on to your experience. Polecat is kind of a backup at this moment, so we don't really need to give her
Let's do
anything.
this.
And you we're still working on. Unless we want to give you... Yeah, I'll give you some gunnery skill.
Training complete.
It helps us for right now.
Orders?
Alright. We're good to go. We have 2 backup pilots. Probably going to want more than that at some point, but we're not forced to do anything right at the moment. Okay, let's go ahead and launch contract. Hopefully this works out for us. This is a nice paying contract, so hopefully it does. The question is, do we want to rock the Commando now? Because it should have better armor than the Spider. 400 versus, what, 280? Yeah. Might even want to switch this. Because if she can't get in range, that's more of a problem. Whereas, if he can't get in range, then he's got the sensor lock. So, we're okay. Alright. Let's go ahead and deploy. There's 1 skull mission. We've got 1 drop weight. Granted, I think we're actually better off without the Spider. Because it's based off your weight, not necessarily good your mechs are. One of the things that I've always had a point of contention with in this game. And that's what we're doing this challenge for. Is to prove that you can do things with mechs that are lighter despite the difficulty level. Because usually it matches your weight with your difficulty level and is like, okay, this is the proper matchup. But I don't think that's how that works right. You can have a lance that's heavier that sucks. Especially if you don't use the proper tactics. A lot of it's about tactics, of course, but... Alright, so we have to assassinate the target. That's our primary goal. There will be bodyguards, so we do have to concern ourselves with them. There's only 1 target that matters on this drop, Commander. Mira's already done a flyby and determined that our target is likely to be a short distance from you. What is that? Trebuchet? It's definitely a medium mech. Whatever this is a medium mech. Could be a Kintaro. My vote is a trebuchet, but it's really hard to make out. And it's going to go away once I'm done with this. It's actually kind of a cheat that we could even see it. Find the target, take her out, and proceed to the LZ for evac. Good hunting, Commander. Olivia, you're out.
Oh, now I could get used to a place like this.
Okay, so the bodyguard's there, the assassinate target's there. Now, the assassinate target may just run, which we obviously don't want to have happen.
Engaging jump jets.
Okay. I have to remember they don't have a PPC anymore. Alright, lawyer, I want to sprint up into this cover. We may not quite be able to get sensors far enough to get a contact. Oh, never mind.
Time to earn our money.
Perfect. That's actually ideal.
Consider me there.
Alright, we're in a good position. We've got pretty good evasion, pretty good cover. Some sort of light mech coming here. May be able to see me, may not. That's actually perfect as well. Alright. That's where you are. Lost the tracker. 2 mechs. Could be more. Okay, we got at least 3 light mechs. And then the assassinate target itself, we know for a fact was a medium thing, but alright, let's make sure there's no vehicles or anything. Okay, looks okay. Alright, what's the best way to approach this? Because these guys are pretty split. Most of my mechs, I think, will be able to see this guy, so maybe that's are going to be our preference.
Yes, boss?
It's going to be hard, maybe, for me to get into a good position.
Waiting for orders.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, I like this move. Okay, so you have less evasion. They all have half armor. Both of them are Commander 2Ds. You have a little bit of protection. Wow, you're still very hard to hit. Well, we're firing a whole crap load of stuff at you, so maybe some of it will land.
Acknowledge.
Oh, I got a little lucky with some of that. The fact that as much landed as it did with how
Like that shot.
low the accuracy was.
Waiting for orders.
Alright, now we can use a more ideal positioning here.
Confirmed.
Ideally, I'd like to knock out this mech on turn 1 here. Okay, we took out a leg, which is going to really help us, because that should also take away the damage reduction, because it's out in the open.
Solid connection on that one.
We could go for a leg, because at this point, I think we're only 1 away from a 2D, so honestly, we don't need the extra salvage, but...
Standing by.
Alright, I'm going to be a little bit... How conservative do I want to play this? I could move up like this. Is this no different? Not too much different. Alright. We might get attacked in the rear. A little worried about that, but... Go after the other leg. Be a faster path to killing it.
This should be good.
Hard to say what we hit there. Alright, we'll try and finish it here. This is enough damage output, I'm pretty sure it's dead, but... Ideally, I would have wanted to attack something else. I'm gonna go for the leg again.
Engaging target.
Yeah, we didn't get it, but... Oh well. Okay. 1 mech down.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Now they're gonna be able to retaliate here. Question is, how are they gonna retaliate? Locust 1M, that's not really too much of a threat. The Commander 2D is probably the bigger threat. I probably want to let it go. This will let the Trebuchet do whatever it wants to do. But I don't think there's anything I can do about that, so... But it's very likely the Commando is not going to get into cover or anything. Alright.
Waiting for orders.
This is what I'm going to do. Actually, no, not you. I kind of want to draw the fire from the Trebuchet, so if I can convince it.
Engaging jump jets.
I'm going to do a multi-target. So you're going to be A. You're going to be B. B is going to be the large laser.
Engaging multiple
Lucky
targets.
hit. There could have been a glitch in the visuals. I'm not sure. Okay.
Enemy mech critical damage detected.
Let's see what the Trebuchet does. It's definitely a Trebuchet. Now that we're seeing all those LRMs come in. I assumed it was, but... Owie.
Nothing I can't handle.
Alright, well, we take away the vision.
Receiving you.
And that Trebuchet is not going to be as big of a deal. Honestly, the Locust is going to be easier to hit, and it's probably because of the type of vision I'm getting. I want as much evasion as I can get, so we'll go after Locust with this attack. You know what? I'll take a precision strike because I want it to go down. think I'm attacking that side. It's really hard for me to tell.
On it.
Oh, we got a head kill.
Enemy down.
That's not common. Although, looked like there was a lot of things that blew up there.
Commander,
Okay, have you come down?
coordinates received.
You don't do anywhere near as much damage, but
Firing all weapons.
you also whiffed pretty hard.
Commander.
I'm not gonna be able to fire the LRM at any kind of accuracy, so just turn that off. Might get us the kill. It's hard to say.
Target.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Farewell, sweet prince.
Okay, at this point, all we have is a trebuchet. Now, the trebuchet may be trying to run. We ideally don't want it to do so.
Standing by.
The question is, would it be in sensor range if I moved to here?
Standing
Another
by.
way to be a little bit more certain. Well, you can't sprint anywhere near as far, huh? I think the trebuchet is trying to run, which we don't want it to be able to do.
Yes.
I would like to sensor lock it. Oh, that's it there. Okay, so we can sensor lock it for sure. I thought this halo was where it was, but it's quite possible I messed up and I should not have done what I did. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to reserve, see what it does. If it moves forward... Yeah, I was afraid it was going to try and run. We might take some decent damage. Oh, okay, it's just going to go with the medium laser. That's fine.
Commander.
Alright, I'm going to come in on the side here.
Location confirmed.
Might back off some of my firepower here just to try and cool off a little bit. Mostly just want to get through that evasion.
Target damaged. Concentrate your fire and bring it down.
Okay. Kind of a similar situation here where
Moving to position.
more concerned about the heat, so
Firing.
more than likely we'll precision strike it next turn and we'll have our full squad just beat on it.
Engaging target.
Okay. And good. Got an LRM-15 crit, which is nice.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
Alright.
Commander,
I mean, honestly, Stargazer does the more damage. So go ahead and use the precision strike, knock it down
Confirmed.
in initiative. Also get more accuracy here. Should be able to do the full boat. We'll go after the right torso, trying to knock it out.
Locking in all weapon systems.
Perfect.
Targets taken up.
Alright, I think we got this in the bag at this point.
waiting for orders.
Just stay on that one
There.
side that's already damaged. I won't be able to do that with my medium mechs, but we might get the kill here if we're lucky. Matter of fact.
Gotcha.
Got him. Alright, excellent.
Hope we can salvage that.
Okay.
Mission successful.
We're blowing through these contracts. I just looked over to see what time it was. Now, I know I started a little earlier today, but I'm very surprised to see that it's only 12:45-ish. Okay, we did get a bonus for killing the bodyguard, which is nice. Alright, good experience. Okay, the salvage is really amazing. I would like to have a trebuchet, but it might be one of those situations where I end up taking the commando just to get a mech. Because we're only getting how many parts? 5 parts. The likelihood we draw one randomly is not very high when we have so many things. So the question is, do we go with the bigger mech, planning for the future, or do we grab a mech now? I say we plan for the future. There was a chance we would have got what we needed, but unfortunately... Picking up the other M15 would have probably been a good call too. Because we do need things like that.